Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 272. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how do you do, sir? Top of the morning.
Very well. Top of. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm doing good, Fix.
You doing good, yeah?
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm there. I'm getting there. Went back to work this week, so I've been streaming. This week, which has been interesting. It's been interesting. I can only do about 2 to 3 hours though, and then I'm like knackered, like absolutely knackered. But I'm playing video games again, which is lovely. I'm very happy to be able to play video games again. I'm playing a game that I wasn't expecting to be playing or liking, nowhere near as much as I do, which I'll talk about later. But what about yourself? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better for
Yeah.
the most part. A little bit of a sore throat that comes and goes. It's not like they're consistently.
Yeah.
And then
Sticks with you as well, don't it?
Yeah. And then some hardness of breath again that comes and goes isn't there consistently either.
Yeah, you definitely had COVID, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's weird. So for those who don't know, Haley has COVID, and she can't come out of isolation until Tuesday. But she doesn't have the same symptoms as what you've had, with like the loss of breath or anything like that. She's just had feverish and fatigue, and she's had a confirmed case, which is weird. I haven't got it, but I don't know if I've had it or not. So it's all weird. It's all. Oh man, I remember when we were first talking about COVID at the start, when we were talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Can you believe it's still going?
It's crazy. It's been like a year.
It's mad. We got a vaccine over in the UK.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But now we're all scared to take the vaccine in case there's long-term side effects, which we don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but to be fair, like people don't know if there's long-term side effects with COVID as well.
Yeah, no, obviously, but look, the government, man. I don't try. Yeah, I'm not. Don't get it twisted. I'm not anti-vax or anything like that. Like, no, I'm not that. But man, I just don't know. You know.
I hear you.
If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast where we talk all things Xbox. Jesus, I know what I'm up to there. You can get the show early over on patreon.com/mcfixer. You can find us on all podcast services, Google Play, Spotify, Amazon. I got myself an Alexa, Crash.
Oh.
Yeah, during the Black Friday sales. So there was a deal on a Fire Stick and a Echo together. And my mum wants a Fire Stick for Christmas. So I was just like, oh, might as well. It works out cheaper sort of thing. Why wouldn't I? Yeah. So I've got one and I'm sitting around playing with it. And then Haley's like, she didn't say it properly. She was like, check out My Xbox and Me. Like, and it didn't work. And I was like, no, I know it works for a fact. So I said it. And then it was both of our voices. And I was like, huh.
Oh,
this is weird. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Don't forget to also subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/myxboxandme, where you can catch the video. And also, don't forget, and I forget to tell people this every week, the show comes out every Friday for non-Patreon supporters. So keep that in mind when you're looking for the show. Patreon producer this month, of course, is Erengard. Big shout out to Erengard, and thank you for all that you do for myself and the community going around. So thank you so much, Erengard, for your support. Topic of the show this week, Crash. We are doing the Game Awards predictions. We haven't done a prediction show in ages. Like a really long time.
Yeah.
If we think about it, like usually we do them for like everything. Like anytime there's an excuse, it's like, hey, topic of the show, we'll make a prediction. Easy. Like this week I was like, yeah, exactly. This week I was like, oh, well, we haven't done one in a long time. So why not? Why not do a Game Awards predictions? We're obviously predicting the announcements. We're not predicting the winners and things like that. Because I already know, Crash, real talk. What do you think is going to win Game of the Year?
I mean, Last of Us 2 will probably win.
Last of Us 2 is going to clean up, and I don't think it should.
Yeah.
I don't think it should.
I still haven't beat it, so don't know.
Yeah, you don't get to talk then. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think Final Fantasy 7 is so much better than Last of Us 2. Different games, obviously, but ones that left.
I did really like Final Fantasy VII.
Such a good game. Such a
Good
good game.
game.
Such a good. But
I'm still kind of like in shock how much you like that game.
yeah, it's more annoying the fact that it didn't come out on Xbox, so it won't win Game of the Year for my Xbox and me.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
that's frustrating. But there's been some great games out on Xbox this year, so we'll talk about them. The end of the year is coming. We're there.
Yeah.
We're there, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with it. But what we do is we go back and forward. 5 predictions for the Game Awards, Crush. Do you want to kick us off with number 1? What are you thinking? Where you at?
Sure. So it's about that time that NetherRealm announces their next game.
Oh, okay.
Last time they announced the game was at Game Awards in 2018, I want to say. It was Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay.
So I think it's about time that they announce a new one. And I think this is a little bit of a stretch. And to be fair, the safe bet here would be to assume that it's going to be the next Injustice game, right?
I would have thought so, but maybe they're done with Injustice.
I think what they're gonna do is Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
No,
now for
way.
anybody who's curious, they had a game, Mortal Kombat versus DC
Yeah.
Universe. It was horrible. It was really bad. But they were in quite a run of making not so great Mortal Kombat games, and they've sort of fixed it. They've gotten it together. And in games, they've sort of like teased this like shared universe and stuff like this and what have you.
Okay. So you think now's the time?
I think now's the time, especially because they've talked about wanting to do other games as well. That like you sort of put them both together and out there, and it's like you could keep making content for that game in the long term with new characters and fighter packs and all that.
Yeah.
And then maybe work on something else.
So you think we'll get another fighting game before we get a different game from NetherRealm?
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought you were going to go the other way with this. I thought you were going to go, NetherRealm's going to release a new game, blah, 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 but it's not a fighting game. That's where I thought you were going.
I think it would be too early for them to show off a new game that's not a fighting game, like a brand new IP or something like that. I think it would just be too early to do that.
Okay.
I do think that they're like
working
at least
in
like the planning phases or something like that for something along those lines. I just think it's too early to show something like that.
I respect it. I may not like it, but I respect it because that's what I do. My number 1 is a cheeky one, I guess, which is Fortnite will be shown at the Game Awards, obviously, but we will also see the Master Chief being playable in Fortnite along with the Warhog and the Gravity Hammer. This all sort of kind of maybe not, maybe so, kind of sort of leaked on Twitter. Did you see the images that were up there? Which definitely could be fake.
Yeah.
Definitely could be fake. But I generally feel like Fortnite, the fact that you can buy Kratos on Xbox in Fortnite is mind-boggling to me. So clearly, and Xbox are definitely not worried about that sort of thing. And to see the leak come out, and it's the fact that we haven't seen it in high res as well that kind of, to me, is like, yes, no, someone's like managed to get this, but not like, when you see a fake, you expect it to be in high res. I do anyway.
Yeah. But that could just be like that.
They could be so good. That would be
if we do it clean, like we got this clean image. If we put it out like this, let's add some Gaussian blur to this. And some people.
And it really would have. It really would confuse me.
Yeah.
What I think is, I don't think Microsoft have got much to show at the moment. They're still working on a lot of things. We know State of Decay, Fable, Everwild, like the list goes on. Forza. There's so much. There's so much in the chamber, but I don't think any of it's ready. So I feel like something Master Chief related, Halo, of course, but something Master Chief related, still Xbox related at the Game Awards needs to be there. And I feel like this is big enough that it gets its own announcement trailer thing. Like you've seen the Kratos like intro video. Have you seen it? Do you know?
I haven't seen
Okay, well there is one for it, but I can imagine they've produced like a higher one for Master Chief, which they want to show that off to the world, and the Game Awards is a great place to hold it for that, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean it makes sense. I generally do agree that like Microsoft probably has to show something. It might not be like the biggest thing. It
Yeah,
might be something just like to get attention, to get people talking about Xbox in some sort of way.
yeah.
Okay.
I just to be very clear, all of my announcements are all third party stuff. Like I just don't expect to see. I don't expect to see Xbox do anything big at the Game Awards yet. I feel like we're in this weird period as well where like no one wants to put too much pressure on anybody to get anything out on time. So no, I don't feel like anyone's going to be announcing anything for a while. So yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just to me it just seems like a wait game more than a I've got something to show. I feel like the Game Awards this year is going to be so many smaller announcements compared to big announcements. But it's a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
the fact that it's a 4-hour show still scares me. I'm like, oh god.
There's awards. You have to remember the main thing is the
No,
awards, not the announcements.
I understand that, obviously. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's also virtual this year as well. So even more so, I'm like,
It's gonna be interesting.
these acceptance speeches could have been cut down. Like that means they're still going to be really long.
Yeah. It'll it'll definitely be a very interesting watch. I really hope the production's on point with it.
It has to be.
Really.
It'd be
Yeah.
like the opening night live that they did. The production on that was very good. With Jeff and you had Sidney Goodman in 2 different locations. I think this is taking place in 3 different locations, if I'm not mistaken, which is like, where is it? LA, London, and somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like the production value is going to be on point.
Okay. Yeah.
But what do you think? What do you think of my number 1?
I think I saw this and I was like, oh man, Fix is going for them easy ones. Because I went when you first sent me the show notes, that's
Easy?
the only one you had there.
Yeah.
Is the Master Chief one. And this had leaked, and it leaked around the same time as the Kratos one. I'm like, that's kind of like, it's a softball.
I feel like it's I mean, look, I'm trying to win this time. Like
I
every
get
time
it.
we do this, and then you come out with some bull crap one where you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. and
Final
that
Fantasy 7
happens."
remastered.
Oh my god, get the hell out of here. So I'm like, no, I want to win. I want to win this time. And look, I just come out of hospital thinking too much hurts my brain. So
You'd
I
still
gotta go.
win.
I gotta go for those low ones. All right, I gotta go for them.
I absolutely no qualms with this. You do you.
Thank you.
You do you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. What's your number 2?
My number 2, you talked about like Microsoft not showing anything first party. And
I think
I'm inclined to kind of agree, but there's part of me that's still hopeful for something to get announced. If you guys don't know, before every year I used to say Battletoads. That would be my prediction every year was
yeah.
Battletoads. Now I gotta have a new prediction every year, and it's Killer Instinct. I predict Killer Instinct will be shown. The more time passes, the more I'm worried that this game's just being forgotten about. This IP is just like, didn't make enough. Even though I think the way they did Killer Instinct made sense for Game Pass before Game Pass was out. The way they rolled out content and all that stuff.
The problem, I think you're right, but I think Killer Instinct was actually before its time in terms of
Yes.
a fighter game that's free to play that has like it was like you pay for each character if you wanted to, or you could buy the whole game. But that was such a novice concept back in 2015 when the Xbox One released. I remember like getting the game and playing it and being like, "Oh, this is dope. How do I play with other people and the other characters?" And then being like, $10.99 a character? I'm like, hell no! Like, and then you dip and bounce.
It was $20 for all the characters when it released.
I understand that, but when you're a missing when this was the first time of something coming back, you're like, what? This makes no sense. Like, it don't make sense. Yeah, it's not. I don't even think it was more gross. It's more just the fact of I didn't understand it. Now we live in a world where battle passes are a thing, and imagine a free Killer Instinct with a set, let's say 5 characters. And you can buy other characters, but there's also a battle pass for different skins and different characters. And they then have the seasons, because that was one of the first games that I remember having seasons. Like the world now understands what they were trying to do before they did it. So I agree with you. I think again it's that thing where as well Game Pass. So maybe you still need all that stuff, but Game Pass helps it as well. Where it's like.
Yeah,
everybody has everyone. Most people have access to it.
Exactly. So there's always a player base, and it doesn't die off
as quickly.
As quickly, because all games die at some point. Let's be real.
Leading Edge. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in
Okay,
peace.
let's be honest. Did that game ever live? Or
It
did it
came
just,
out this year, Crash.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
can't wait till we have our I can't wait till
That
we have our Game of the Year talk at the end of the year, and then mention all the games that Xbox released this year. To
Yeah,
go, I didn't plan off of this, or I didn't do that, and I didn't do this, and yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
that really feels like a last year game, even though you're absolutely right. It
It
was
was
this
this
year
year,
game.
right? I'm not wrong.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
100% correct. It was like March this year or something like that. You are absolutely correct about that, but you're 100% correct also. Does not feel like it was a this year game. That is
I want to
wild.
let everybody know I just put in bleeding egg instead of bleeding edge. Very important to me. Yeah, March 24th it came out officially.
Yeah. It's well, Xbox got them games. Um yeah. Yeah, fix number 2. Hit me with it. I want a spicy one.
Yeah, none of these are spicy, man. I'm sorry. We will see a trailer for Brendan Green's new game, the maker of PUBG, obviously, and we know it's not a BR game. So my thought process of this is, I'm pretty sure this was announced at last year's Game Awards, that we got like a weird little teaser of the logo thing and them going through like a jungle, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes.
So I feel
Yeah.
like they may have more than that now, and they already have that built-in relationship with the Game Awards. It's like, this is another, like I was saying beforehand, it's not going to be AAA, it's not going to be like the first parties, but I feel like it's big enough that it might still get headlines in a way of like, check out the new game from the PUBG creator.
I think you also have to remember, like, the Game Awards, like, not everything that they announce is like the biggest
No.
of big games.
Of course
So like I do think this would definitely be something that we could see there.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Do you have a guess on what genre the game will be?
I still think it's a shooter.
Shooter?
I think it'll be a third person. I feel like it still will be relatively like PUBG, just not PUBG and not Battle Royale. So like a third person story. I think it's story driven. I don't even think it's yeah, I think it'll be story driven. I feel like that's something they've spoken about as well. Brendan's spoken about with like PUBG. Like, do you not remember when it was like, oh, we're thinking about adding story to it, and like, oh, we might do a movie and there's lore and da. I feel like this game will still be set in the PUBG universe in a way, but it's a side story going on with the same similar mechanics sort of thing.
To explain PUBG and why it exists.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe not so on the nose, but maybe in like files that you pick up. It could be like, oh, and we're doing this thing where we put prisoners on a aeroplane, and the last one to survive gets to leave. Like, and they just build on that, but it's a little bit less on the nose than that, and it's in writing, it's in text, it's in VO, it's in stuff like that. Maybe. Like, I feel like.
So
go on. Sorry.
So what you're saying is they're making a Resident Evil game.
PUBG, Resident Evil has a great story with great cutscenes. How dare you, sir? How dare you? The disrespect! Chris, you realise I didn't even understand Resident Evil until I hit like 20, right? Like, that's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. That's crazy. Crazy. Damn. But to be fair, give it to the remakes. The remakes make sense compared to like the OG games.
Yeah, at least with 2. I never played the original, to be fair, but like 2 makes sense. Like through and through. You play through the game for the most part, it makes sense.
They all make sense. They all make sense. You just, but you gotta look for it a bit more.
So many times.
Yeah, I'm biased.
I hope they make sense to you at this point.
If they don't make sense to me, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. What about you? Number 2, what you got? Number 3, sorry.
Number 3, Ruined King, a League of Legends story. I think we get gameplay for it here.
Remind me what this is?
I think it's the action RPG. I think they had announced it last year. Or they showed it off last year at the Game Awards or something along those lines.
But wait, what is this though?
This is the Riot game. The
story
one.
Legends
games.
They're building story into League of Legends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, so you think,
I think we'll see that here in some capacity, be it gameplay, or release date, or whatever it is. I think a release date's too soon, but I do think we see some sort of gameplay for it here.
Yeah. Would that actually excite you at all?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game.
Fair enough.
I don't play League anymore, so you know, something that I could be like, I'm good at a League of Legends game.
That'd be nice for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is I think we will see the first official trailer for The Wolf Among Us 2. I feel like it's been enough time now since The Wolf Among Us was announced that it was still alive, and I feel like I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, I don't know if it's going to be episodic or whatever, but I feel like enough time has passed. And again, it's another. I'm trying to think about it in more terms of like write-ups as well. Like, I feel like the Fortnite thing grabs headlines. The Brendan Green thing, I think, it does get clicks enough, especially if they do a good trailer. Same thing with The Wolf Among Us.
Big enough at some point.
Yeah, and the same thing with The Wolf Among Us 2. Like, enough people are going to be interested in that gets eyeballs on the show. So yeah, I feel like that would be a good one to announce, and I can't wait for it. Wolf Among Us is probably the best Telltale game they made outside of maybe Walking Dead Season 1. But I actually,
really like Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
But is it the same team?
No, it's not. We know it's not the same team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the one thing that worries me really with it is it isn't the same team. Do they have the love for the series the way that team did? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those ones where it's like you're handing it off to different people. Are they going to be able to do it and do it justice? And we've waited so long now for a season 2. Think about all the games that we got between a Wolf Among Us 1 that came out in 2013 and the next one. You got Batman, Guardians, multiple seasons of Batman, I should say, multiple seasons of The Walking Dead, which were all up and down, if we're being totally honest. Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, just so many games have come out in between that and then The Wolf Among Us. And again, we got our first look of Wolf Among Us at Game Awards last year, so I feel like again it could be another one of those. It trailer comes out maybe with a release date, and it comes out next year. You know.
Yeah. No. I could definitely see that. That was almost one of my predictions.
Oh really?
That was almost one of but I decided to make a prediction on the other Among Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. It's confirmed Among Us is going to be there.
Yep.
And they've been teasing their new map. I think they're going to take it a step further, and they're going to also announce a console release date for the game. I think, ride the wave while it's still hype.
Is it still hype?
A lot of people still play it.
No, I totally agree with you that a lot of people still play it, but is it the hype?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's necessarily the hype. I think once a new map comes out, I think like ride the wave of the new map more.
Do you think a new map does that game justice? You think that can get people back in? Because I only like playing the one map. I only like playing that first map.
I like all 3 maps.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I hate getting in lobbies where they only play the one map, the basic map. I personally like all the maps, and I hear a lot of people talking about it, and they're like, we want new maps. Once a new map comes, we'll be excited for it, etc., etc. So I do think hype comes to some degree with the new map.
I hear that. Okay, that's fair. That was number 4, right? Yeah.
Yep.
In the same vein, another game that I feel like is losing its hype, but could get it back very easily and to a whole new player base, Fall Guys. I feel like Fall Guys coming to Xbox. I don't actually think it will just be Xbox. I actually think it will be Xbox, Nintendo, and the Nintendo Switch, where I think that game would live perfectly on the Switch. But what I do think is maybe Xbox will sort them out with a deal where it comes to Game Pass as well.
Ooh,
so
I like that.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, we've just made a ton of money through PlayStation. Why do we need to bring it to Xbox? But it's more like Xbox going to them and be like, hey, we'll pay for production cost and we'll put it in Game Pass, so you'll get a lump sum there, and everything else on top of that's profit as well. Because that game will drive... People will buy that game again on a different console to play with their friends. They have spoke about cross-play coming and things like that as well between PlayStation and PC. So it's like, why not have it on all the other platforms? And the Game
Yeah.
Awards, again, it's big enough where I feel like people would actually be surprised that it's coming to these consoles and be excited about it.
I like that. I like that. It would also help with especially if crossplay comes out, help with the declining player base. I almost said dying player base, but I don't think that's accurate with that game.
No, it's still relatively popular. I know people that still. It's a little bit like Among Us again, where it's like I never struggle to get a game on any platform that I try and play it.
Yeah.
People, if I said to 9 times out of 10, if I said to people, "Do you want to play Fall Guys?" They're like, "Yeah, sure." Because it's one of those those easy pick up and play and relax and
just
chill.
have fun, mess around with it. Yeah.
It's perfect for that. So yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Your last one. What you got for me?
Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
This one is I think we're gonna get some Elden Ring. I think we're gonna see the game.
I don't think
we're getting gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be a gameplay trailer. I don't think it's gonna be like, one of those where they call it a gameplay trailer, but you can't really tell if it's gameplay or not. I don't think we're getting that. It's gonna be very much so. This is a CGI trailer. They're not gonna show much. They're probably gonna make people even more confused. But I do think we see it here.
Yeah, I totally had this one on the tip of my tongue, but it was too easy. It's too easy to go Elden Ring something, But I do agree with you, which is we've been waiting. Is it 2 years now? 2018 they showed up.
Yes, yeah.
I believe it was
I'm
Game Awards 2018, right?
2018. It was 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2018. It was whenever the Xbox was revealed.
Okay, so it was last year then. I didn't think it was that year.
2019.
But
I think it was the 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It must have been 2019.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it had the Xbox marketing and all that, and it was the same exact show that the console was revealed.
Maybe.
And that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally.
Yeah, it was 2019.
Gotcha. There you go.
Oh, it wasn't even at Game Awards. It was at the Microsoft press conference, E3 2019.
Damn. It was.
Wow. Yeah.
Again, we missed a whole year with like the way it's all been. It's been super, 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 super weird. So, Crash, I've just looked. Yes, on the 2nd, Jeff Keighley tweeted out, "It's true. Get your first look of the new Among Us map live at the Game Awards next Thursday." So that's already been confirmed.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm halfway there.
And he's tweeted out Fall Guys Season 3. # the Game Awards.
Oh, that'd be it. New season, new console.
I don't know. I feel man, weird.
You feel like neither of them are gonna land now?
No, I don't. But
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me too. Me too. My last
I'm
one
hopeful for either or, because I feel like either or would be like a great have on Xbox and consoles.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's more just getting these games onto consoles and getting console players to be able to play them. Super important. Last one is EA will announce a new Fight Night game. Crash, this is like my Battletoads for you. Like, I just want it to happen. Like, I'll keep saying it on every prediction show. I've added a little caveat. I actually tweeted this out and deleted the tweet because no one liked the tweet, so I took it down, I'll be having my Twitter looking like a scrub like that.
Right.
New Fight Night game gets announced by EA. And we find out they've licensed the YouTube boxes to bolster out that. Because the big thing about Fight Night and boxing games is the licensing's been a bitch for them. Yeah. Because each boxer has their own different fight team sort of thing, different licensing. That's why like Floyd Mayweather's never been in a Fight Night, if I'm not mistaken, because he owns his own licensing and wanted to charge too much money. Where I feel like getting a KSI and a Logan Paul, a Jake Paul, a bunch of others. I don't know how much you've watched YouTube boxing and things like that. Probably not that much. But I feel like getting those people they're big names that help sell the game. Number one. And they're probably cheaper than actual boxers. So, not that we won't get actual boxes as well as, I'm not saying we won't, but to bolster out that roster of boxes, I feel like it could be a bit of fun. I don't know.
It works, and it kind of works also as a marketing tactic, right?
KSI versus Jake Paul. You've wanted to see it for how long? Blah 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 blah. Now play it in Fight Night. Like, yeah, it's just I feel like it, and I feel like that's such an easy way to get YouTubers to play the game as well. So if you know anything about YouTube, you put KSI in the title, it bangs. Like, as simple as you're gonna do good numbers. So I feel like every YouTuber in the bloody world is gonna be like, I want to play as KSI or whoever else, Logan Paul, whoever. And there's enough of them now. Like, you just had Mike Tyson talking about YouTube boxing after he just did his Hollywood, like his exhibition fight. And it was weird to hear him being like, the only reason I did this was because of these kids. Like, they showed me that I could get back in the game and box, because it's not so much about the level of boxing, it's about the entertainment of boxing as well as. Right, so I just feel like that's a perfect, like, 1-2 punch. No pun intended. Nah, definitely pun intended. I'm sorry. For everyone, right? Where they're like, everyone's a winner. People are getting paid. We get to make a new game. Perfect. Yeah.
No, that definitely does help with what I think would be Fight Night's biggest issue, which is having a substantial roster.
Yeah.
Is getting YouTubers into it. So that's
just a thought. Just a thought.
Yeah. I'm hoping you're correct about this fix.
Me too. Because I really need a new Fight Night. Really.
You've been talking about it for forever.
We haven't had a new Fight Night since the 360 Champion, which is a fantastic game. I say it all the time. But
a whole generation.
13? To be fair, we're in a whole generation without a GTA as well, so.
That is very true. Correct. That's not surprising.
No.
Because they just made so much money. They printed money.
So did EA with FIFA.
That's true.
It's how do you monitor? But how do you monitor? Because it's the same thing. It's like how do you monetize the boxing game beyond the $60?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
That's where That's where the conversation comes in.
You have to charge for boxers. Like, the boxer, like, I want to get paid, and they're worth a lot, so they're like, I want a lot.
Yeah,
you know. That's a really good.
I think that's why you've not seen it. Where, like, UFC fighters, UFC own every fighter. So you're just making that one licensing agreement with UFC, where boxing is so much different. So
yeah,
I don't know. Crash, I've made a huge boo-boo, and I've not added the fan questions in to fix the sack. Could you quickly just go into Discord? Yeah, please. Could you go into Discord and just read them out for me?
Okay. First question. What is your craziest guess for surprise premiere at the awards?
That's
we already did our guesses.
Yeah, but we can. My thing is they're all about presenters. I feel
was that about?
I feel like it's present. Like, what's the biggest surprise presenter of an actual award? No,
I don't think so.
No,
because it's what is your craziest guess for surprise premiere?
Oh, okay.
At the awards.
If I had to pick one off the top of my head, like a crazy one, we'll see Kojima's new game. Yeah. It'd probably be with PlayStation again, just because that relationship's now already built, and they probably made a ton of money off of Death Stranding, even though it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. I feel like you could go see Kojima's new game and it's Silent Hill, because that's the rumor. Yeah. The rumor is that Kojima's they're working on Silent Hill again. I don't think so. Right. I don't think so.
I don't either.
But that's where that's where my head goes to. That crazy. Rabbids 2. Never gonna happen.
Mario Rabbids 2?
Yeah.
Master Chief Rabbids. That's what's happening.
Yo, I would love. Do you remember when they had the Master Chief Mega Blocks stuff?
The game?
No, it wasn't a game. I don't think. I think it was just
about the actual
like actual Mega.
I think they had like a game that had like leaked that was an alpha or something.
Oh, okay,
like,
interesting.
Wrong about that.
Imagine that, but like it's tactics, Halo Tactics, but cute art style, Mega Block style.
It could work. To be fair, like it could work because I didn't think Mario Rabbids would work,
and it was fantastic. Yeah. I never beat it, and my cousin still has my cartridge. Still has it. Lent it to her 3 years ago. Said to her, "Can I have it back?" She keeps telling me no.
Just no, you can't.
Straight up, just
now.
no. Yeah, there's that. Have you got a wild one? Have you got one that like
Final Fantasy VII Remake Xbox release date?
That'd be nice. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything they could add to like make it better on Xbox?
Next gen version.
So
I don't think there's anything they could, like,
there's no
add.
content wise, right? That they could add that like, man, I just want more content.
Because like if they weren't working on the next chapter already, then maybe like if it was a Kingdom Hearts 3, right, where it's like they don't know where they're going with the next direction, maybe they add some secret bosses and like this extra stuff, like what you usually get with the final mix version.
Yeah,
maybe they would do something like that. But I assume because they already know where they're going with the rest of it and the next chapter, that's not something they do.
Yeah, who's the dude at the end? What's his? You don't know. Oh, we can't. Sephiroth. No, not him. Don't say actually, just in case. Spoilers. Don't say it. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Don't say it. Tell me after. I know. Yeah. I can't remember his name, but don't tell me. We'll talk about it after. Next question.
Next question. 1 second. Here we go. Why isn't Tell Me Why nominated for Game of the Year or Best Narrative?
I don't think it was Game of the Year. I personally, I've not played Hades, but I do think Last of Us, Hades, Final Fantasy VII. I think Animal Crossing's actually up there as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think the games that are in the Game of the Year talk are the right games. Personally, I know people were very upset about Ghost of Tsushima not being in there, but for me, the games that are there, I'm not upset by. Because Final Fantasy VII, in my opinion, is the Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Why it's not in there for Best Narrative, I don't have a clue. I put it out there. I put it out there on Twitter. And the other dev who follows me, he was like, "No, he wasn't robbed. We're still up for an award, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, forget that. I don't want that energy, my dude. You were robbed. You were for Best Narrative? How is it not up there for Best Narrative? I don't know how.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you remember what the games are
for Best Narrative?
In Best Narrative,
I can look. Give me a second. I'll have a look.
Oh, here it is. 13 Sentinels, which I haven't played.
Nope.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
Hades.
Yep.
Last of Us Part 2.
And so no, tell me why, right? Tell me why it's not there.
No, tell me why.
Yeah.
I played 4 of those games. I never finished Last of Us, so I can't really speak on that. Didn't finish Ghost of Tsushima. I can't speak on that.
I never finished Ghost of Tsushima. I actually didn't think the narrative was that strong. I think it's really strong.
Like the narrative.
Okay, interesting.
I like the narrative for that one.
For those who were wondering on the Game of the Year, which I was talking about, it was Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing, and Last of Us 2. So I understand it not being in that category, personally.
Yeah.
But Best Narrative, I haven't played the 13 Sentinel. I have played Final Fantasy and loved it. I played Ghost of Tsushima and don't think its narrative isn't the driving force for me when I play that game. Haven't played Hades, and Last of Us 2 is great, but it's more Last of Us.
Yeah.
What's Hades like for narrative?
It's weird. Like the narrative's solid, but I don't think the narrative's anything special. Like personally, I haven't played all of Hades. I would probably, from what I've played, I would probably put Tell Me Why over Hades in that category.
Okay.
And then I haven't played 13 Sentinels.
Yeah, so Tell Me Why is the only game it's there for is Games for Impact. A thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Tell me why it has to win that.
Have you played any of the other games?
No. What's your point? Tell me why it has to win.
I don't think you can make that statement.
I mean, I can, and I made my vote. So
I generally agree with your statement because Tell Me Why is the only game I played on that list.
Exactly. So it must be big. It
It is
must.
fantastic, so I wouldn't be surprised if Tell Me Why wins. Don't get it
It
twisted.
better.
Absolutely.
You know what upsets me about this category though? It better not just be pushed over. You know when Jeff does that whole thing where he's like, "Oh, and
It's
tell
like,
me
oh,
why
they
I
rewarded
won,
off
and
screen.
tell me why I won best game for impact." Like, nah, bruh.
Yeah.
You give Don't Nod and you give Xbox the credit that they're due.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? You know, I remember when Tell Me Why got announced, and so did what's the other one that just came out and got panned?
Oh,
I've got the game. I've
I'm
got it. They sent me a code.
It just came out, no?
Yeah, it just came out. What's it called? Jesus, it's gonna stick in my head. I'm not gonna remember. Let me just have a look. Don't Entertainment. What games did they just? Twin Mirror.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "Yo, Twin Mirror. That's the one I'm playing." Not Tell Me Why. And then Twin Mirror's come out and it's just been absolutely trashed. Absolutely.
Really?
I don't. And do you remember we read an article? We read a news story about how they've got tons of games in development,
Yeah.
and we both said, "Please don't become like Telltale." Where
Yeah.
and Twin Mirror's already proved where it's like they put out 2 games. One is the best thing since sliced bread. Fantastic, brilliant, amazing. Made me cry.
Yeah.
The other one, I haven't played it yet, so I'm gonna hold my research. But people are just not. I'm talking 4s and 5s. It's getting.
Oh, okay. So it's not even like
How?
a 7 or 8.
No, 4s
okay.
and 5s.
Okay. All right. That's quite the
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh man. I really hope that this is an outlier.
Eurogamer gave it a 1 star.
Out of 10?
No, 5.
Or out of 5?
Come on.
Okay.
Avoid.
I'm just
Let me just
saying.
Awkward, riddled with plot holes, and unintentionally offensive. This is Don't Nod's words offering to date.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. I really hope that this is an outlier for them because Tell Me Why is fantastic. Like it is a really amazing game.
Yeah, crazy. But we're getting off topic a little bit. What was the question again? Why the question was why wasn't I don't know why. I don't think it was I don't think it was game of the year, and I just don't think I don't think enough people played it, if I'm being honest, because it was Xbox. And even still, I don't think enough people played it on the judges' panels to be like, yeah, this has to be in the nominee for narrative. Yeah. So it's a shame, but that's probably why. Next one.
I agree with that. Next one and the last one. If Halo Infinite does launch in 2021, do you feel like recency bias could give it an edge over games released late 2020 that missed the cutoff of 2020 noms like Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah. You know?
I completely understood every word you said there.
Do you know what I mean?
It was a well thought out idea. Well said.
I don't know. I just think Cyberpunk's gonna be that good.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like,
what else is coming out late?
I
Immortals Fenyx Rising.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what else comes out this in December. Like you're only really comparing it to games that come out just off that cut off of November and then in December. So yeah.
I assume that this comes because of people saying that Jedi got snubbed this year at the Game Awards.
Again.
Recency bias.
Yeah. Because old game's old and people don't think
old
about
game's
it.
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also want to say that like this year also in general was a really good year for games as well.
Yeah.
And, like in a lot of the categories that it would have been up for, it would have like steep competition where you could see it not getting those. And we don't know what next year looks like. But also like Cyberpunk's supposed to be a really big game that by the end of next year, there will be people probably still playing Cyberpunk.
Yes.
It will still be relevant to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
You'll still see articles going up on IGN about guides and all this stuff. It'll still be talked about. So I don't think for Cyberpunk in particular that recency bias will affect it in any way, shape, or form. Immortals Fenyx Rising, maybe, but what are the chances that that'll be talked about game of the year or any of those categories by the time the end of next year comes around, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's that thing for me where it's just like, I don't review Cyberpunk as a 2020 game because in my head, I'm not getting it till next year. I'm not getting around to it till next year, probably. Like, really,
Yeah.
it comes out literally in 6 days, right? And then
Yeah.
everyone keeps talking about it in my chat. Like, are you getting Cyberpunk? Oh, you're gonna be streaming Cyberpunk. And I'm like, I don't know. I want to play it, and we've got to talk about it on the podcast. And so a part of me for my job, I'm like, yeah, I've got to do this. But I'm playing them all with Fenyx Rising. I've got Assassin's Creed to play. I've got COD to play. I've got
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs Legions to finish. Well, start and finish. I've got, you know, when I'm just sort of like, I've got too much to play to be worrying about Cyberpunk as on top. Which Cyberpunk's a 70-hour game.
Yeah.
It's just like I just don't know. I just don't know.
No, I absolutely agree with you. It is going to be yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people it will be viewed as a 2021 game.
Yeah.
So,
And we're not getting the next gen version straight away either.
yeah, and then by the time the next gen version comes out, it's like, oh, Cyberpunk.
The media boost it up again. So yeah, I don't know if we answered your question, but no.
That's the answer. The answer is no.
I'm glad you agree.
We answered that.
We
question.
did it. Crash, what's been in your box this week, dude? What have you been playing? Have you been able to play again?
Playing. Yes.
Good.
I've been playing a little known indie gem called Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any good?
I really like it. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Damn.
I really like it. I think to a very large degree what I wanted from Assassin's Creed is back in some way, shape, or form. It's not the stealth necessarily how I would have wanted it.
Yeah.
But it is close enough to how I would have wanted it that it's still enjoyable. Like I can go through a whole compound and go stealthy, right?
Okay.
You get the ability that like you can for the tougher guys that you normally can't kill in one shot, you can unlock an ability that lets you it makes you do a time thing where you have to time the bar at the right spot to get the kill on them.
Okay.
Adds some challenge. I'm doing that for now. If at any point I get annoyed by it, I'll probably just turn on the insta kill for everybody.
Yeah.
I like it. I feel like the combat's a little bit more weighty than the previous two games.
Yeah.
Like it's still distinctively like this new combat style, but it feels a little bit more weighty. I like the way they're telling the story of you going to different zones and interacting with the characters in that way and sort of telling a story around Eivor and what's happening with the settlement.
Yeah.
And then sort of leading up to the larger story. I enjoy all that. I think Eivor is a cool character from what I've played.
Are you
so
male or
far.
female?
Female.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I just overall, I really enjoy it. My only gripe with the game is that this is probably the most boring the climbing and parkour has felt in a while, and it might be because I'm genuinely enjoying this game at this point where it doesn't feel like a chore. And especially because stealth is back, you're going to be doing a lot more parkour to sneak around and all that stuff. Where that feels like a little bit lacking. And hopefully that's the next thing that they sort of aim their sights on to like sort of enhance and make better in some sort of way. But even that as a complaint isn't really like a complaint because I'm still enjoying the game despite that, right?
Got you. Yeah, everything that I played from what I played, I've only about 4 hours in, and I was doing a bunch of side stuff and just running around trying to get my gold up, and like the gold at the bottom and stuff like that. That's what I was focusing on doing, which is how I play those Assassin's Creed games, which is perfect. It's like made for someone like me, where it's like you still feel like you're progressing, and I come across a bunch of little stories that weren't on the main beaten paths and stuff like that, and I was just like, damn, this is from what I've played, this is really good.
Yeah, I really like the way they do the discovering what the objective is, right? Like it'll show you whether it's a wealth, an artifact.
I think so.
I forget
I've
what
not
the
played
white
in a
one's
while,
called.
so.
Artifact, and then the mysteries. I really like that it doesn't show you what it is until you're next to it.
Yeah.
It adds that sense of exploration, sort of like a Breath of the Wild, not quite, like not really, but in that sense where it's like I see what's over there. I see that it's like something, and I'm gonna get close enough to see what it is, and then by the point I'm close enough, whether I'd want to walk away or not, I'm gonna be tempted to go in and do it. I really like that feel. I do like the fact that you aren't getting a million loot drops of a bunch of random gear, most of which is going to be irrelevant. You get
Yes.
set gear, and then you get the stuff to upgrade it, so you constantly know what you're doing, and you have stuff to work towards. I really like that.
Yeah, to roll off of that and move into what I've been playing, it does exactly the same thing, which is I've been playing Immortals Fenyx Rising, which game provided by Ubisoft. Thank you, Ubisoft, for the code. I was literally, I woke up to stream and was like, I'm going to let chat decide what we play. Like, I really wanted to play Assassin's Creed, to be honest with you. But I was like, Immortals Fenyx Rising just came out that day, and I had the code 5 days prior. I wasn't well enough to play it. And I was like, do you know what? You guys want to check this out? Let's check it out. Totally expected this to be a game that I jump in, I play for 3 hours, that stream, and go, I don't need to play this anymore. Like, it's not for me. Don't need it.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be the total opposite, which it was like, this is like the perfect post-operation game for me, where it's a beautiful palette in terms of its art and its coloring. Very vibrant, very, very colourful, very childlike in its art style, right?
Yeah.
And it's a couple of things that I dislike in games, really. Like, I don't like puzzles, and I hate stamina bars. It has both of those. It's a puzzle game where you need to manage your stamina.
Yeah.
And for some reason, unlike Breath of the Wild, because I didn't like Breath of the Wild at all, and maybe I just didn't give that game enough time. And I think I've come down to the terms of I just don't like the Switch, if I'm being honest. I don't like playing games handheld. I think I've learned that in my head now, where, like, something that you need to see big, I can't shrink down. So even when it comes to Game Pass, I'm like, I can play NBA, and I could play, like, very, very certain games I could play on this, but not everything. With Immortals Fenyx Rising, it just works for me, where they're telling this very stupid story about a hero who has to save the world, who needs to help Zeus. Pretty much. That's pretty much the be-all and end-all of the story, right? And Zeus is narrating it along with somebody else, and it's just, I don't want to spoil it at all, so I just want to, like, let you guys play it. And it's just dumb humor, which either you're going to love the humor or you're going to hate it. Instantly, either you're going to find these characters funny or you're not. I find it funny, because it's just stupid. Literally some of the most stupid dud jokes. Zeus is just saying, hurry up, get to the point, like, the whole time. It's just, it's amusing to me. And the objective of the game, literally, it's the same as Breath of the Wild. It pretty much is like, go on then, do it.
Explore.
Figure it out. Go do what you want to do. But it does the thing which I think Breath of the Wild never did for me, which is, you can do whatever you want, but this is the one place you need to go. So that's your golden path, where Breath of the Wild doesn't do that. Breath of the Wild is very much, it does. So you're on this journey, and then you just get distracted by so much stuff. And I literally said to Sam, I'm golden pathing it. We're not worrying about side stuff, not worrying about chests, we're not worrying about nothing. We're just like, and then literally you start playing the game. You do your first tower, which is, to me, it's the perfect crossover between Assassin's Creed and Breath of the Wild, where it's climbing and it's exploring, and it has its own sort of version of Eagle, like the Eagle Vision sort of thing, like, not Eagle Vision, but like Eagle climbing, where you sort of like your towers sort of thing, which you're climbing gods. That's what you're doing to then open up the rest of the map, and that's what I just finished doing today. I've opened the entire map that I can open, so all of the different areas, and each area is different and has different things to do in them. And the puzzles are relatively easy at the start, but they do start getting trickier and trickier. And it's weird, because it's just not a game I would expect to like at all. But I just do. Like, the combat system works, and like you were saying about the loot, it's not a loot-based game. It's very much, you do get new pieces of loot, but they're not like, this does this much damage and that does that. It's perk driven. So you'll get a new sword and it will do 20% more damage if they're holding a shield, let's say, or something else. And that's how you make your decisions on what piece of loot you want. And for me, it was just like, oh, this is perfect. because I'm excited every time I get a new piece of loot to find out what the perk is. And even if I don't care about the perk, it's still like cool to have all this loot. But it's so dumb. I feel like I say dumbed down, and it's not dumbed down. It's just so not the Division or COD, or it's so simple. You're right.
It's not serious. Yeah, right? It's like a cartoon version of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
at least from what I played with the demo when they had the demo, was very much so that it is Assassin's Creed for somebody who doesn't want to take it seriously, who just wants to have fun.
Very much so. I feel like that is what it is. The stamina system bugs me, but it's meant to. I understand it. You get wings and you can sort of glide around the world, but you lose stamina when gliding, which to me is frustrating. I don't see why I have to lose stamina while gliding. I understand it climbing and then using my mushrooms to then decide can I actually climb this or not. But gliding, I'm just like, that's the one thing that bugs me. I'm like, come on, like seriously.
It's for the progression of character.
100%.
By the end game, you can fly wherever you want.
100%. I understand why it's there. I understand why the barriers are there, but it still frustrates me. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like really enjoying it. There's enough different enemy types that I'm fighting, whether it's a bear or a cyclops or a bunch of other stuff. Again, I don't want to spoil everything or anything really. And the way you approach different enemies, and you've got stealth, which does a huge amount of damage if you can sneak up on someone. It's just fun, you know. It's just dumb, stupid fun. And yeah, like I say, the puzzles are not my favorite part, but I'm playing it on stream anyway, so that helps me a lot because they'll be like, "Fix, you're being dumb. Come on, it's right there. Come on, sort it out." But it's just so fun. Don't sleep on this game. I really hope. If you're somebody who wants to play an Assassin's Creed like open world game, but you don't really fancy Assassin's Creed, I do think Immortals Fenyx Rising is worth your time. It's worth your money. It's worth playing. A lot of people in my chat today were saying they were going to wait for a sale for it because they like the look of it, but don't want to pay the full price for it, which I understand. It's kind of come out at a weird time as well, right? Where it's like, it's underneath everything. Cyberpunk is coming, and Assassin's Creed still just came out, and yeah.
Honestly, like Ubisoft themselves this year, because we got Watch Dogs, then right after that Assassin's Creed, and then right after that Immortals Fenyx Rising. So I feel like this game's in a very unfortunate spot.
It's between two known IPs and one new IP, which is like, damn. Like, to me, this feels like the perfect January game.
Yeah, no, yeah. You release it in a less busy month where games don't really launch. People get like hyped for it, excited for it, and then next year,
I think that's what they were trying to do with December though, and then Cyberpunk moved.
Yeah, probably. Let's be real.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoy its combat. I enjoy the puzzles. I enjoy the story. I enjoy the VO. I enjoy the world. So it's one of those games where it's like, I'm about 4 hours in, 5 hours, maybe 6 maxed. But I can see I'm going to finish it, which I just didn't think I would be doing. So yeah, interesting.
Okay. Do you think from what you've played that it has a chance of getting into that top 10?
Yes.
Okay.
So far, I feel like I still got to sit down and really think about that, if I'm being honest with you. But right now, I'm like, compared to everything else I've played next gen this year, other than Yakuza Like a Dragon, is my favorite experience that I've had so far. But I've also put the most time into it as well, because I sort of went into hospital when next gen started. So
right.
But yeah, it's just a weird one, man. Just a weird one. I love it when a game comes out of nowhere and surprises me, though. It's nice. It's nice. So,
yeah. No, I'm generally interested to see both how it does and then how it's received by the people who do pick it up.
So yeah, because IGNs and that are giving it 7s. It got a couple of 9s. It got a couple of 8s. It's doing all right critically, but what do the people think?
Exactly. I'm also really interested because I don't know if you saw the season pass, but one of the DLCs coming for the game is in a completely different pantheon with a different protagonist. I think it's the Japanese pantheon. I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
And that has me interested in to see like what exactly their goal is with the future of this franchise. Because it seems like it's not going to just stick to one pantheon. It's going to be sort of like Assassin's Creed or a God of War, where they go like, here we're going to do Greek, we're going to do Egyptian, we're going to do this, that, and third.
Give me an
That could be
Egyptian
really
game, I'm
interesting.
in, bro. You know, I'd love
Slap
that.
Egyptian on anything and fixes down.
Not food though. The Egyptian food's
Give him
trash.
pyramids to climb. That's all.
I'm
he
in.
needs.
Yeah, I'm in. Oh, that'd be dope. I'd love that. Yeah, with the same comedy style and stuff like that. Yeah, man, that'd be fantastic. I'd love that.
Yeah.
Let's get into this week's dashboard. We haven't got much time left, but we'll try and get through it as quick as possible. November 2020 Xbox console update begins to roll out for the Xbox Series X/Xbox Series S and the Xbox One. Summary: the November 2020 update is beginning to roll out for Xbox and all of its devices of family consoles. The Xbox Series X owners get more dynamic background options and auto HDR indicator in the guide. Optimized for Xbox Series X/S badges, make it easier to know which games are ready for Xbox Series X/S. And Game Pass members can now browse and preload games with the coming soon section, which I think is huge, actually.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think
go on.
that's just such a nice feature that I would have never thought about.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that I would have completely overlooked. Like, I would have never thought, like, I really wish I could preload these games.
Yeah.
Because I view it as the Netflix. When it's up, it's up. When it's not there, it's not there, right?
Yeah. I think it's that just using your initiative a little bit more from Microsoft there, where it's like, people don't want to wait to play their games. Why are we forcing them to wait?
Yeah.
If the game is there and ready and we can preload it for them, why are we not doing that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, very big. If you want more information on this, go to xboxwire.com and you can check that out. Next up, Sea of Thieves is getting a season pass and a battle pass. Sorry, let me say that again. Sea of Thieves is getting seasons and the Battle Pass in 2021. Sea of Thieves will introduce a seasonal progression system in January 2021, alongside a Battle Pass with a free and premium option. This was all announced as part of the final Sea of Thieves news for 2020. Rare will be moving away from the game's consistent monthly update model. The season system will replace this, bringing in new players, new content every 3 months, with a new way to play introduced in every season. Starting with Season 1 in January 2021, each season will feature regular and featured live events, as well as new rewards for pirates, outlaws to uncover. I think this is a dope idea. It makes perfect sense. I think it's probably easier on the devs as well, if we're being totally honest. In allowing them to produce a large amount of content and then putting it out there. Plus, like we were saying, they're in the newsreel every single month that way for people that care about Sea of Thieves. Like, oh, what's in the new update?
Yeah, and it's also it gives people also a bunch of content to play at once, where I don't necessarily think Sea of Thieves lives with a huge amount of people who play it consistently, but there are people who will go back to it every once in a while, right?
Interesting.
And so this just makes sure that when they go back, there is enough content there for them to like enjoy it, right?
Yeah,
I get. At least there should be.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, for every 3 months, I feel like that's enough time to work on new events and new whatever else they want to work on, right?
It doesn't have to be anything like drastically new, right? I'm sure that they will like be focusing on different stuff, don't get me wrong, but it just has to be enough new that somebody will enjoy their time in there if they already enjoy Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, no, exactly. Next up, one that could have definitely been topic of the show, if we're being honest, Bioware, Casey Hudson and Mark Darrah to leave studio. All current project planned to continue. EA has announced that Casey Hudson, the general manager of BioWare, and Mark Darrah, the executive producer on the up-and-coming Dragon Age, will be departing the company. All currently ongoing projects, including Anthem, Anthem Next, the next Dragon Age, and Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition remasters, among them, will continue as planned despite the leadership shifts. Samantha Ryan will continue to oversee the studio, while Christine Daly, who joined BioWare from Blizzard, will now be leading the Dragon Age project as executive producer, with Matthew Goldman remaining as creative director on the project, and the Mass Effect collection will continue to be led by Mike Gamble, as the team also remains, quote, hard at work on the future of that franchise. Crash, how does this all make you feel? This is big, big, big news.
Yeah. I don't like it's always weird to talk about when like people leave studios because like you don't know exactly what they do and what their goal was. Was their goal like when they joined the studio, whenever their last assignment was it like to get the studio on track with whatever they're doing, and now it's on track, they're good, and they have it in good hands, then they're just gonna walk away from it at a good time? Or is it
Casey's
like
left before as well,
we don't
right?
like where it's going? What was that?
I think Casey's left before, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Casey, if I'm not mistaken, you're correct. Casey left and then came
Back, yeah.
and so I'm hoping that happened, like, to sort of, like, steer whatever it is, whatever game,
I think
they
it was
were working
Anthem.
on in the right direction or
Yeah.
something along that, and they're like, "Okay, we're done with what we had to do. We're good. We can move on. We have other plans, other stuff we wanna do."
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's the case, but worst case is they're like, the ship's sinking. We don't wanna be here. We're just gonna leave."
I do think Casey Hudson's a name in the industry that's very well respected, right? And
Yeah.
if you look at the last couple of projects coming out of BioWare, you're starting to lose faith in that company, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know any of this. This is all pure speculation and me just talking out my butt. But I do think it's one of those things where it's like, I don't like the direction this is going in, and I've not got as much control as maybe I wanted. Time for me to go. It could definitely be that. When Anthem drops again, the next Anthem Next, or whatever they're calling it, right? People are going to scrutinize that with a magnifying glass. Same thing for Dragon Age, same thing for Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and the next Mass Effect. Do you want that level of scrutiny?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't either, and I don't even work in. I don't make games, so I wouldn't want it.
Especially because, like, when you think about, like, when developers come out and they're like, "Yeah, we released this game," and, like, people disliked it or whatever, they had issues with it, and, like, the amount of, like, harassment they get, like, no.
Yeah.
Especially, like, if you're higher up, like, why would you wanna stay with something that you believe or you see as not going in the correct direction?
Exactly.
Yeah, I really do hope that it is the case that they came in, they did what they wanted to do, and it's like, it's in good hands, we're gonna move on to better things for ourselves and
Better things
what we
at
have
a
in mind for
gaming
the
where the
future.
industry isn't so whiny.
Yeah. Yes.
Moving on, Microsoft acquires esports tournament platform Smash.gg. Microsoft has purchased the esports tournament organization platform Smash.gg, according to the banner of the front page of the platform's website. Quote, since we started in 2015, our goal has been build an active esports scene around games people love to play. Smash.gg's website reads, today we're excited to take the next step in that journey by joining Microsoft to help strengthen our existing relationships and explore new opportunities. Smash.gg will continue as a self-service esports platform available to tournament organizations from all game communities. Crash, have you ever heard this website?
Yes.
You have?
I've
Okay.
heard of it. Yeah. I don't follow it super well, but I do know that a lot of tournaments use Smash.gg in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if I think this was much more of a Microsoft purchase than it was a Microsoft purchase for like Xbox, right? Obviously, I think Halo and stuff like that might utilize it and everything, but I do think that Microsoft just saw like a good business opportunity in a market that's like growing, that they could get their foot in into some degree, and I think that's what this purchase comes to.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what it does and what it means for Halo when that comes out. Will they sort of go towards using Smash.gg in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I agree with you. It's like probably a case of like we're not buying MLG because that's going to cost a fortune, and why would we? We're not buying this, and we're not buying this, but we don't have any market share in this right now.
Yeah.
Let's buy someone that is up and coming or has a base of players. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to mess with it, but there it is. We can help. Even just I'm looking at their website right now. I'm like, yeah, that needs a facelift, if we're being totally honest, to do that. And it's just a few things like that where I feel like this could definitely be a big deal one day. And why would you not want to have a finger in the esports pie? You know, like you said, they could run the Gears of War tournaments through this now. They could run the Halo tournaments. They could be whatever. They own it now. Why wouldn't they want a piece of that pie? And if you can get in cheap enough, why not do it? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, good for them. Next up, Microsoft Flight Simulator to get VR support in December 2020 and a UK World update in 2021. Microsoft Flight Simulator will get VR support on December 22nd, 2020, and a substantial UK World update that will be ready January 26th, 2020. Nothing more to add there, but I just thought it was worth speaking about. Obviously, Microsoft own game. I have not had a chance to play yet. I will play before Game of the Year talk though. I will definitely be playing it.
Is that
it's on Game Pass?
Is it on console yet?
No, I don't think so. I don't believe it is. So, and your PC will literally blow up if you.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But I will check it out before the Game of the Year talk, and just to say that I've played it. Not a game you can actually complete, so I'll say I completed it as well.
Of course, gotta
get another tick. Gotta get another tick.
Yeah.
The last really big last news story already, which is State of Decay 2 update includes new Xbox Series X /S optimization. Developer Undead Labs has announced that State of Decay 2 and the Xbox Series S and X versions have been optimized alongside the launch of some other end of year updates and content. State of Decay 2 players on those consoles can now enjoy the benefit of newer hardware, including faster load times, which was one of the big problems in that game, improved world and shadow details, and other graphical enhancements. Both consoles run the console at 60k, at 60 FPS, up to 4K resolution. Crash, I want to go back.
You want to go back? I was literally going to ask you, does this make you want to go back?
Yes.
So
no,
you will,
100.
You will go back.
My problem is, am I going to go back and play it co-op? I didn't love the co-op, but I feel like this game is more fun in co-op. It's a fun. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's a case of I want to go back. I love State of Decay 1, and I wanted to love State of Decay 2, I just couldn't because it was so broken when it released. It was so broken. Now with new hardware, with faster with these SSDs on fast load times, it's optimized. I want to go back. So I think we should go back.
Yeah. I kind of wish I waited for this to play State of Decay 2.
Why don't we just start over?
I didn't play...
We should just start over.
Play State of Decay 1.
Yeah, man, you missed that.
It got like a bunch of love, and then I was like, oh, State of Decay 2 is coming out. It's going to have co-op.
Yeah.
I'll wait for that. It's going to be better, because everyone said, like, I really wish State of Decay 1 had co-op, and this is going to be, like, the perfect version, and then it comes out.
I feel like...
It is the game it is.
I feel like we'd literally start doing our My Xbox and Me live streams again, and this is one of those games that we play. We might play it for an hour. We might play it for 3 hours. Who knows? Depends what mood we're in, and we just sit there and we play it.
All right.
And we start again from the beginning and do it.
Start all over. Okay.
Start all over.
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it either. All right, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do just that.
Maybe is the key word, everybody.
Maybe. We've got a bunch of new games coming to Game Pass in December. Starting at the top, Doom Eternal, December 3rd. Haven, December 3rd. Rage 2 on Android, December 3rd. Slime Rancher, Android and console, December 3rd. VA11 Hall A, Cyberpunk Bartender Action, PC, December 3rd. Yes, Your Grace, Android, console and PC, December 3rd. Dragon Quest 11?
Yes, 11.
I fucking smashed it.
I'm
S.
gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, is that supposed to be Series X and
No.
S?
11 echoes of the excuse age.
Elusive.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitive Edition, console and PC, December 4th. Call of Sea, Android, console and PC, December 8th. Monster Century of Android and console, December 8th. Starband on PC, December 8th. Unto the End, console and PC, December 6th. Assetto Corsa, Android and console, December 10th. Gang Beasts, great game. Android and console, December 10th. Greedfall, Android, console, and PC, December 10th. Super Hot Mind Control Delete, Android and console, December 10th. And Ukulele and the Impossible Layout, Android, console, and PC, December 10th. Games with Gold this month. For December, you got the Raven Remastered, December 1st to December 31st. Bleed 2, available December 16th to January 15th. Saints Row Get Out of Hell, December 1st to December 15th. And Stacking? Yeah, I think that's right. December 16th to December 31st. Crash. Bump,
Yes.
bump, bump. Another one bites the dust. Bump, bump, bump. Another one bites the dust. And another one bites, and another one bites. Let's plug, get ourselves out of here. Don't take your headphones off. What you got to plug? What you got to plug this week, my friend?
This week, what I have to plug is
big.
twitch.tv/MC Fixer.
It's like because you ain't live yet.
That channel's been back streaming.
You're such a scrub. My big one is if you are subscribed to the youtube.com/myxboxandme, or you listen to this podcast, I need you to do me a big favor. I am trying to hit 5K over on youtube.com/mcfixer. We are currently sitting at 4,296 subscribers. By the end of the year, I want to hit 5K. Will it happen? Probably not. But if you listen to this show, I'm sure you will enjoy my other content that I make. I do unboxings for like press packages that I get. I've played some Sony games. I know Sony had their right. Played some Spider-Man. I played some Valhalla. I've got an Immortals Fenyx Rising video up, 2.5 hours of when I first played it. So that first initial period. Crash Bandicoot Let's Plays. I've got so much content on there. I do interviews, and in 2020, I've got so much more coming. So if you are someone who listens to this podcast but didn't know I have a personal channel, I would absolutely love it if you could go subscribe to that. If you've got multiple accounts, go subscribe on multiple accounts. I don't care. I just want to hit 5K, you know? You know, Crash?
I know. 5K, good number.
Do you know like Drake? You know.
Yeah, he's same wavelength.
I respect it. Until next time, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. And until then, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.